Well, I bet you thought that COVID grants were over, or at least COVID rental grants are over. They're not. They're starting new again. Here's a new one out in California. What they're doing is starting in December, like the middle of December, you can start applying for a rental grant up to $30,000. And it's actually going to landlords. So if you owe your landlord up to $30,000, they could get that all taken care of. That's why this stuff is coming every day. Remember that if we have a problem in our society, and that people are suffering financially or whatever, it behooves the elected officials to create grants to help you through this stuff. Whether they do it or not depends on where you live and a whole bunch of other things, but they're still going to keep on coming. And that's why it's not over. The COVID's not over. I mean, this is a new grant, $30,000, and starts in the middle of December. And it's actually aimed at trying to find a small landlords who have tenants that don't pay their rent. And so the tenant gets it paid, the landlord gets their money, and everybody's happy. So this is out in Los Angeles area. So if you're out there, I'll put a link in the bottom here that you can follow if you want to follow up on that. But more important, you want to find out stuff like this where you live. How do you do that? One is you go to the Association of Housing Finance Agency. They have a state-by-state listing, and that's ncsha.org, of all the national programs that are still being used at the state level. See, there's a lot of national money that goes to this local, and then they, spend that till it isn't anymore. Then they have their own money, and they have both at the same time. So there's always so many programs to look for. So if one says, no, we don't have any money, that does not mean there is no money for you. That means that just that one program, there's no money for you. Okay, here's how you do it. Okay, you go to this, put in your whatever state you're in Kansas. Ooh, my throat's getting a little horsey here. And here's their thing. Here's a Kansas one, and it shows you where to apply and how to apply and everything and how much money they have. Okay, so let's say you called them up and they said, oh, well, we just ran out of money last night, or whatever the heck they say. Okay, you don't stop there. Okay, you go over to findhelp.org. Findhelp.org. And you put in your zip code, and then you put in rent. And here I did that with my zip code, 79 programs. These are nonprofit organizations in my area where I live that help people for rent. Now, some of them are, maybe they're obviously not for you. Here's one for veterans families. Okay. So if you're not a vet, that wouldn't be for you, but they're still a good source. Why? Because they help people solve rental problems. So they're a nonprofit organization. That means you have access to them, and they help people solve rent problems. So you could call them, not that you're a veteran and want to get money, but you're looking for other services, other organizations that give out money for rent. See, they're most likely to know that than you, me, or anybody else that you'll ever know, because they do this work every day. They run into people who are trying to pay the rent every day, and they learn about things from other organizations or whatever. So that's who you want to talk to. You call up as many of those people as you can until you find the money. And that's what it is. If you get too lazy, fine. Take a break, have a cup of coffee or whatever. Smoke a little weed, whatever you do to relax, and then come back and start calling again, okay? Because that's how you find it. You don't find it by hoping that somebody will jump out of your computer and hand you a check. That ain't going to happen. It only happens in advertising. But in real life, you got to bang away, baby. It's like getting a job or a mate or anything. You got to go out and make those calls. So start dialing for dollars. And that's what we do. We teach you how to do all that because we're not taught to do that in school anymore. We're all taught, oh, you just go online and you fill out these forms. That's nice in a perfect world, but none of us live in a perfect world. So we got to do something else. And that's what we teach you. And that's why we're so good at it. And we charge so little that we even have so much profit. We give it back to members. half our money that we get from members, we give back to members. How do you like that? 50% of the sales goes back to you in grants. Yeah, we give out $75,000 in grants every month. Wow. I think that's great. Maybe a lot of big fat cats don't, but that's chump change to a lot of people. That's a lot of goddamn money to me. And I'm really proud we're doing that. So let me try to help you too.